Okay, so my last video got interrupted. I thought I had finished it, but no, apparently the iPad stopped recording. So we'll just take off when we were. There's the Billy Joel, we'll just put it down. This is the Game of Thrones newly recorded versions of the music from Game of Thrones. Now, I had bought another record player, which I thought should have been pretty good. Couldn't get any of my records playing it without skipping, so I went and bought a brand new record just to test it. It still skipped. I believe there's an issue with the machine itself. Don't really know what to do about it, so now that I have another one, I probably won't worry about it. It did also suffer some damage in the move up here, and LED LCD screen doesn't work now, so it's a bit of a pain to use. So I'll deal with that one day. Now this here is Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic, and my daughter actually picked me up this one a few years back for Christmas. It's got a cracking version of Walk This Way on it. I am a massive fan. I would say my favourite song ever is the Run DMC Aerosmith Walk This Way from the 80s. I had a live album of theirs which had a terrible crap version of them, and it just really put me off the Aerosmith version, but listening to the one on that, it is so much better. Now, one of the reasons I started doing this record, I had the records out for this, was because a lot of these over the years have lost either inner or outer cases. This is from the Record Shed. I got it on eBay. I have some inners and some outers. So I have a few records over here that needs inners and outers. That one. Here we have the Human League. It's got its inner, but it needs an outer. It's going to get a bit boring if I do this for everyone that needs it on the way through, but there. Okay, now here's my Crocus Headhunter album. I absolutely love this album. I do not have any idea why it doesn't have an outer cover on it. It's just a bit ridiculous, but anyway, it has one now. Oh, and they're really slippery and they're not going to stack up for me now. Racy Smash and Grab album. With no inner or no outer. One of my favourite records from the 80s, but would have been bought second hand then. It may never have had an inner or an outer. I know I used to play this thing to death. I would put it on my record player that I recall didn't have an auto stop, so I would put it on before I went to sleep and it would just run all night and spend hours running around that end groove. And I still use that record player for years. Okay, what do you got then? Don Henley, Boys of Summer. One of my wife's, I would say. Still a good record. We will pop an outer cover on it. What do we got here? Hall & Oates. Big Bam Boom, big album from the 80s. Also missing an outer cover. Just sorting that out now. Here we go, the New Goodies LP. I loved the Goodies when I was a kid. And yeah, this is one of their rare records, recorded almost live. It has Wild Thing. Their version of Wild Thing is just a joy to behold. I put it right up there with the Trogs version. Uriah Heep Live. This was a $5 or $10 record from a cheapie shop back in the 90s. I believe it was shrink wrapped. It's never had an outer cover. I'm not sure if these will actually be big enough because it is a double album and it is quite thick. Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards. Doesn't look quite like Uriah Heep. This was bought second hand a few years back. It's sort of one of these things, the old records. I mean, I've got them here, I've got hard copies of them. Every single record I've got here. It was easier to download it from the internet than it was to actually transfer it from vinyl to MP3 myself. The very best of T-Rex and Adam Ant. This is once again a J&B, just a $5 or $10 cheapie one from probably a service station back in the day. Great Rock and Roll Swindle, Story of the Sex Pistols. So we, that's right. Pop that there. I didn't make a list of what needed what. I knew there was a few more that needed internal covers. Oh, it's a bit blowy here. I've got the aircon on because it's stinking hot inside the house, but the bloke across the road thinks it's necessary to mow his lawn every 2 days. So if I open the doors and let the breeze in, all you hear is right on. Okay, yep, so the Great Rock and Roll Swindle. A bit of punk history there. The soundtrack from the movie. Yeah, Rose Tattoo, a great Australian band from the, let's say the 80s, bit of 70s, bit of 80s. There's a bit of a story here. Now, when Rose Tattoo played and toured America, they let Guns N' Roses be their support band. So when Guns N' Roses toured Australia, they let Rose Tattoo be their support band. Guns N' Roses, of course, went on to a much bigger thing than Angry Anderson and the Boys, but still one of my favourite Australian albums. And Guns N' Roses. This album I purchased about 6 months before it got banned, and I couldn't really understand why it was banned. I mean, I had purchased it legally at Chandler's. And okay, well, once again, my camera cut out my iPad, but I think I've figured it out now. So I've disconnected from the iCloud and freed up all the storage space. So hopefully we can get through this one now. So we'll just go back the other way, because obviously I thought I'd finished all this. So these are just a few records that I have that I'm not that worried about. So this is the Give 'Em Heaps one, the sound effects record I used to demonstrate the record player. Benny Hill. These are ones that, the funny ones, the ones that we got from Alison's grandfather, or we got from his estate when he passed. So there's Benny Hill, 40 Barrack Room Ballads, stuff like The Good Ship Venus, Quartermaster Store, 2 Ronnies, Bullseye, which is like late 70s, early 80s, like I Don't Like Mondays. I actually heard that on a Top Hits of 1979 yesterday, so yeah, this is from the late 70s, early 80s. Choose 1985. Look, I don't even know if this plays. I've got a feeling it doesn't. It's just one of those ones that you sort of hold on to. Got some stuff like Everybody Wants to Work by the Uncanny X-Men. Probably only really in Australia on that. I do have the CD somewhere. Ghostbusters, I Think You're a Man by Divine. Flesh for Fantasy by Billy Idol. Now, I've seen Billy Idol twice. I saw him in 1987 and we saw him again in 2020, just before the pandemic hit. Very lucky the producers decided to give free tickets to anyone who'd been involved in fighting the bushfires, and as I was both a rural firefighter and an auxiliary firefighter. I managed to get a ticket for me and my wife to go and see that. He was still awesome. Yeah, I mean, especially given the fact that it was that such a long time since I'd seen him before. And my wife had always been jealous that I'd gone to see him without her, although I met her a year after I had seen him. So yeah, no, it was good to do that together. Mind you, we got free tickets. We then spent $130 on a motel room. We passed a tattoo shop. She spent $250 on a tattoo. And then I spent a significant amount of money in Irish Murphy's just having a few drinks. But anyway, here's Morgan and Wise, another old funny English comedian duo. Two Ronnies. I didn't realise I had two lots of that one. Benny Hill again, and this is one that I got in high school from a friend of mine. The song remains the same by Led Zeppelin. In the Houses of Holy Case for some. I think we picked it up at a second-hand shop like that. So yeah, not really sure. Here's AC/DC Blow Up Your Video. Beastie Boys, I borrowed from a mate in 1989. I know that because the last time I saw him was at my wedding, and I've never run into him again, but I will give it back if I do. ELO's Greatest Hits, nothing wrong with ELO. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, $17.99 for Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. Goodness me. And would you believe we were listening to that quiz on songs from the 70s and found out that War was actually a cover by a bloke called, from originally recorded by a bloke called Edwin Starr. So yeah, that's interesting. Here we are, AC/DC Who Made Who. This was picked up at a flea market a while back. I'm not sure how good it is. And yeah, here we are, back to Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. As I said, I picked this up about 6 months before it was banned. Heard it had been banned, couldn't really figure out why, and found out later that because of poor record sales, they'd changed the cover to one that was quite offensive, or deemed offensive by some people, and managed to get the record banned. So once they got the record banned, everyone wanted to buy it. So yeah, and it's amazing to think that such a fantastic band, like I said, I'm a massive fan. I had bought this 6 months before they got it banned. At the time, I just used to go into Chandler's pretty much every Thursday night, or every second Thursday night. I think I got paid fortnightly. I listen to the new releases and buy something. So yeah, and this is one of the gems I picked up. Well, anyway, then we're back to where we were. So hopefully I can stitch this all together. And I hope you've had enjoyed having a bit of a look at what I've got. I mean, I'm 53. I've been buying records since the 70s and 80s. I sold a lot through the 90s. Picked up a few, I wouldn't say recently, but you know, in the last 20 years or so. So yeah, let me know what you've got. You know, if you have anything you like. Yeah, I'll see if people like this sort of stuff, and maybe I can do some more music videos. Alright, thank you very much.